How are you?
Good, how are you?
Lovely.
My work schedule changed, so I'm good this whole week. Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Sunday.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. All right. Well, we have just a small group of us this morning, so we can go ahead and get started if you're ready. We have another minute, but up to you.
And thank you again.
Of course.
Getting me, I need it so much. So at least I can keep it up.
I'm so glad that I can help. It helps me too. Being on a regular teaching schedule keeps my practice going as well, so we help each other that way. So silence my music for just a moment. So this week I embarked on a little bit different theme, and I don't know if hopefully this has become a little bit apparent, but I'm trying to build each week's practices around a general theme and then try to bring that in different ways with each specific practice day. So I didn't really intend on doing it in this kind of an organized fashion, but it's just sort of unfolding this way. But I've generally been working through some of the general themes around the chakras. In the first week or so of practice, it was all about grounding and rooting and being secure and being foundational. Last week's practices were built around going with the flow. They had sort of a theme of being flexible, being like water, letting go of resistance, and that is something that's generally applicable to the chakra 2 region. We did a lot of hip openers last week, a little bit of abdominal work, but lower back hip openers, and that is where that chakra 2 energy region is. And I haven't gone really deep into the chakras themselves or the deeper meaning behind them. I don't consider myself an expert. I am just learning as I go and reading a lot of good books. But it's very, I think that there's a lot that you can gain by tapping into those different energy centers and really bringing your mind around having a purpose for your flow. So this week's, along those same lines, this week we're kind of moving up the body. The chakra 3 region is generally called this, or generally considered around the solar plexus. So that area where some of us often feel like we wish we had a little less to deal with, but this is where we get the term fire in the belly. This is the energy that is that arises out of bringing up a firm foundation, hard matter, very solid matter with the water and the fluidity, and this creates energy. So our theme this week is around energy in the body. And to begin, I'm going to go ahead and have you set up, and then I'm going to just do a couple of little readings as we settle that body down. But we're going to have you set up in a hero's pose. So if hero really doesn't work for you, that's fine. You can sit in any kind of comfortable seated pose, but just to kind of bring in a little bit of length through the torso, I wanted to sit up nice and tall in hero. And I have a blanket here. A lot of times, if this is really too hard on the bottoms or the tops of your feet, where you're sitting directly on the heels in heroes, sometimes just placing a blanket underneath gives a little cushion and allows you to stay in the pose a little bit longer. A block can also be your friend. So if you want to place a block just underneath the tailbone, you have to sit a little further back then, underneath the tailbone, giving that support to the pelvic floor and the pelvic region, that lifts you up often just enough to take that sensation out of the knees or the bottoms of the feet, or the tops of the feet rather. So with those two options for your modification in hero's pose, or you can certainly go into traditional right on the mat. We'll begin in this posture, always finding first that grounding place in your seat and becoming aware of the spine as it elongates both north and south, and the tailbone pressing down, the crown of the head lifting up. So if you really do bring that sensation into the top of the head and feel as if there's a force pulling upward, you're really going against gravity here, but pulling that crown of the head upward, you can find often some space that's created in the neck and down the spine. And this really creates this nice stable posture where the spine is neatly stacked, one area on top of the other. So finding this comfortable seated pose to begin, I would suggest perhaps taking a hand to the belly, taking another hand to the heart. And just begin by listening to what's going on inside and feeling with your fingertips that sensation of the heart beating and the chest rising and falling. And just take a moment here in relative silence and listen to this breath. Become aware of any feelings of energy that you are tapping into in your own body. And make some suggestions to yourself about where you need to either release or perhaps you need to find more energy. I'm going to read you just a little bit from a book that is a really wonderful book I have about the chakras, just to give you a little bit of inspiration for practice today. As we put together matter and movement, we find that they create a third state, energy. If we rub two sticks together, we eventually get a spark that can ignite a fire. In the physical world, we call this combustion. In the body, it relates to metabolism. Psychologically, it relates to the spark of enthusiasm that ignites power and will. In our behavior, it is in the realm of our activity. This is our third chakra. Its purpose is transformation. Just as fire transforms matter to heat and light, the third chakra transforms the passive elements of earth and water into dynamic energy and power. In the body, the third chakra is located in the solar plexus. That is where we get the butterfly feelings when we're nervous and when the third chakra isn't feeling confident and powerful. It's a flighty feeling that brings our energy up instead of down, and yet stimulates and awakens us to a heightened sensitivity. When we're not grounded, this stimulation can be empowering and vitalizing, but without grounding, we may get a flurry of undirected energy. So I'm just going to leave that there and have you take another moment here to consider what kind of energy you're feeling today. Take a deeper lengthening in breath. And draw in that sense of awareness and inclusion in the world, connecting to the energy that's inside you. As you release, you are bringing your own energy into the universe. A constant cycle of reincarnation of energy, because it's neither created nor lost. It simply moves where it's directed to go. And you may release the hands from the body if you wish. We're going to come forward, coming off of the blanket if you used that, or out of hero's pose. Just push that blanket to the side, and we'll probably use that here in just a few minutes when we move into some different postures. Just find a comfortable seated position on the mat. And in this Sukhasana, let's just go ahead and begin to rotate the body around, making some circles that are generated in the hip and hip joints, but are moving the entire upper body around. Exhaling as you come forward. Inhaling as you come back. Just let your breath flow with this body movement. Feeling yourself stirring up some movement inside, beginning to awaken those internal organs. And then on your next time forward, let's reverse those circles and generate that motion the other direction. Inhaling as you come up, releasing out as you go down. One more time around. And then come back, inhale as you come up, and find that posture once again. We're going to draw the arms up and overhead, lifting that energy up, pausing at that pinnacle. Exhale and release, clearing your space as you come down. Inhale, once again, draw up. Exhale, and we're going to twist to the left. So you're bringing the right hand to the outside of the left knee. Left hand comes behind the back. Pause here, feeling this gentle beginning twist, perhaps gazing over your left shoulder. Inhale, coming back, drawing the arms up to center. Exhale, and bring that twist the other way. So your right hand comes behind the back, lifting and kind of giving you a little kickstand, a little leverage here. Just feel this internal twist. What's going on inside? Inhale, draw the arms straight up. Exhale, release them out. Place the right arm next to the right hip. Inhale, draw the left arm up. Reach broadly overhead, and then exhale, bring some openness to this left side body. Feeling the spaces between the ribs open up. We're really going to be working on this central region from all directions today. Feel that energy coming from the fingertips all the way through the outside of that left arm. And then inhale, draw both arms up. Release that left hand next to the left hip. Reach up and over a little bit more, and then gently bend that left elbow to provide the little crescent motion, little crescent shape here in this seated position. Opening now the right side of the body. Feeling those organs get a little bit more space, a little bit more movement. Inhale, draw both arms up and release down. We're going to open the legs now into a wide seated stance. So bringing the feet out wide, bolster that way. Settling once again into your seat, draw the crown of the head up. We're going to take the right hand to the inside of the right calf. Left arm is going to go up and overhead. Once again, we're going to fold over to the right. Rotate your shoulder back so that you can gaze up to the ceiling. Feel that openness now really coming in all the way from the hip joint up to the underside of the arm. Breathe deeply here. Stimulating all of the lymphatic system, releasing and moving those fluids around the body. Inhale, come back to center. Draw the left arm to the inside of the left knee. Right arm comes up and over, and come into that fold on the other side. Rotate that shoulder back so that you can gaze up to the ceiling. Find some space. Once again, stay in the question, what energy are you feeling today? Inhale, draw both arms up. Exhale, we're going to bring them down front and come into a gentle forward fold. Don't feel like you have to come all the way down, but just come to where you feel that first edge, opening up those hamstrings, the inner groin, releasing the lower back. Go ahead and drop the head if it feels appropriate, and just let that neck be loose and open. Inhale, slowly bring the hands back up, stack back up, and we're going to swing those legs around and come into tabletop, hands and knees position. All right, in our tabletop, we might go ahead, if you have a blanket or a towel and you want to put it under the knees. We'll be here for just a few minutes, so sometimes that will feel a little bit better since we're going to be in several kneeling positions along this section. So coming into tabletop first, let's just go ahead and wake up that spine going, creating that wave motion. So we'll drop the belly here, gaze up to the ceiling, finding cow tilt. You're tilting forward slightly, the elbows are soft, hips are open and wide. And then exhale, draw the navel up to the spine, really press the back of the heart up toward the ceiling. Get a nice stretch here in cat. Inhale, draw that energy up, lean forward into your cow tilt. Exhale, press those abs up, engage in that arch for your cat stretch. Inhale, and let's just do 3 or 4 more of these. Go at your own pace. Pause wherever you feel you need that additional stretch. Waking up that solar plexus, I want you to be very cognizant of your abs and really those core muscles. Engage them in every aspect of this practice that you can. Stirring those fires within. And then after your next round, go ahead and meet back into a neutral tabletop. Just in this neutral position, take your navel and really press it up toward the spine. Feel the abs engage. Feel how your back is immediately supported when you hold the core nice and strong in this fashion. Inhale, and then as you exhale, release it out, but keep those abs nice and tight. One breath here. And go ahead and lower the forearms down so that now the elbows are going to come directly underneath the shoulders, and you can release the body all the way down. You're coming into Sphinx pose. pressing the feet out behind you, the back of the tops of the feet are pressing down into the mat. Lift up through the heart, press those shoulders back. Really use the shoulder girdle to support the body here and don't collapse into the neck. You don't need to strain and look way up at the ceiling, but in fact your gaze should be straight forward. Nice deep breath here. Hold for one more. And then we're going to place the hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to gently press up, keeping the elbows tight to the body, pressing up into a small cobra. Exhale, release down. Inhale, press down into the pads of the hands for cobra. Exhale, release down. Inhale, press up to cobra. We're going to hold this for just a moment. One additional breath here at the top. And then release all the way down. Press into the hands, come back up into your tabletop. From tabletop, we're going to sweep the right arm up and over, reaching those fingers skyward, and then release down as you exhale, looping it underneath the left. Inhale, rise up. So we're getting a little motion going here. Exhale, sweep under. Inhale, revolve up. Exhale, sweep down. And then one more time. Inhale, up. This time as you come down, you're going to take the fingers all the way through, threading the needle and coming to rest on the right side shoulder. Your hips are still high. You're resting on the back of behind the right ear. Feeling that nice shoulder stretch. Your left hand can either come out front and forward, or it can stay next to the head. Or if you wish, you can wrap that hand around the small of the back and get a little extra stretch in the left shoulder. Inhale, feel that energy already starting to build inside this third chakra region. Where is your energy today? What's the quality of your energy today? Bring that left hand back down next to the head. Unwind, coming back into tabletop. We're going to walk the hands backward, coming up the body, coming now into our kneeling position. This is why I suggested having the blanket. Hopefully this feels okay. From here, we're going to take the right foot and bring it right off of the hip so that we're setting up for gate pose. So this right foot and the right hip are in alignment. Draw the arms up and overhead. And then exhale, we're going to bring the right hand to the right thigh. Lift up out of the left. Exhale, bring that left arm over the ear. Feeling now this openness all the way down the left side of the body in gate pose. Breathing deeply here. Opening up those energy channels. Inhale, draw both arms up, release both arms down. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale up, exhale, inhale the left arm up, exhale once again into gate. Maybe you slide that right hand a little bit further this time as you find that additional space beginning to open. Direct your breath to any place that you notice a tightening. Let go of that resistance. Inhale, draw both arms up, release down, bring the right leg back up underneath. Bring the hands back down to the mat and take a breath here in neutral. perhaps affirm to yourself, I direct my energy towards the greatest good. I'm directing my internal energy toward the greatest good. All right, from here we're going to lift the left arm up. Sweep that left arm up first and then just draw it under, creating that wave motion again. Exhale, loop it under. Inhale, draw up. Exhale, loop under. Inhale, draw up, and this time we're going to loop it all the way under, threading the needle and coming to rest on the left side shoulder and behind the left ear. Feeling this twist into the internal organs. We're doing lots of twists in this practice. Listen to your breath. Determine if there's any areas of tightness that you need to direct that breath to help release. Couple more breaths here. And then bring that right hand back up underneath the face. Press into the right hand, coming back up into tabletop. We're going to walk the hands back up the body, coming into that kneeling posture once again. Bring the left foot this time straight off the hip. Left foot is now set up so that it's nice and straight. I'm going to move so you can see me better this way. Draw the arms up and overhead, even though I think I'm opposite from you now. But inhale up, exhale, bring hand to thigh. Inhale, draw up, exhale, and fold over. Feel that sensation coming all the way up that right side body. Inhale, come back up to a standing posture. Exhale, breath releases down. One more time, we'll go into that gate pose. Arms up. Exhale, release. Inhale and reach. Exhale and fold. Breathe deeply. Tapping into that internal energy. Are you feeling it already? Do you feel those sensations? Do you feel a little bit of warmth beginning to creep in? Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, release down. Coming back down into your tabletop. Let's just go around the world a little bit. Kind of balancing and neutralizing the spine. And then coming into another tabletop, we're going to lift the knees up off of the mat and press back into our first downward facing dog. You can remove that blanket. That's convenient for you now. You won't need it for a while. Inhale deeply, pressing the hips back, lifting the sits bones high as you engage that navel and press it to the spine. Really use that lower core here to support the body in all manners. Nice deep breath. Bring your feet to the outer edges of the mat so you're coming into a wide leg downward dog. Inhale and then take your right hand and we're going to reach it back and under so that those right fingers are trying to kiss your left toes. Breathe here and hold in this version of a three-legged dog. And inhale, bring the right hand back up to support. We're going to take the left hand now and reach it back, trying to bring those left fingers as close to those toes as possible. Just getting a little inward twist. Nice stretch. Using our core strength here, bring that hand back. Bring the feet back into hip distance apart.
And then we're going to inhale, walk the feet forward to the front of the mat. 1, 2, 3. Coming into our first forward fold. Knees can be nice and soft. Just decide for yourself how your hamstrings are feeling. Always feel free to keep those knees as soft as you need. Inhale, let's come to a flat back. Engage that core. Press the crown of the head forward. Press the tailbone back. Loop the shoulders back. Stay strong here, even in this small version of this half fold. And then hinge forward from your hips, lengthening as you go. Complete forward fold. Let's just sway back and forth. It always feels good to do our first time through. Getting a little extra sensation going along the IT bands. Feeling those glutes get involved. And then come back to center. Soften the knees, but press down through the feet. Rise all the way up. Arms up and overhead. Urdhva Hastasana. Upward facing hands. Drop the left hand to the left thigh. Reach the right arm up and over and arch over toward your left, feeling that sweet standing crescent now. Opening up the entire right side body. Press down through the outside of the right ankle. Really feel that sensation going all the way up and over. Keep breathing. Inhale, bring both arms up. Bring your your right hand to the right thigh. Draw the left fingers up and create that crescent now on the other side. Pressing down through the outside of the left ankle. Nice deep breaths. Feeling that energy building. Do you need to release energy or do you need to build it today? Where are you? Inhale, both arms up and over. Exhale, swan dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale and fold. Step back to downward facing dog. Pressing backward once again. Lifting those hips high. Feeling the extension all the way through the spine. Engage the abs. Lift that navel and press it, pierce it backward toward the spine. Thighs are pressing toward the back of the room. Nice deep breath. Let's all inhale together. And then release it out the mouth. Again. Exhale, release. Inhale. Moving that breath stokes the fires of our energy. Inhale and walk the feet forward toward the hands once again. Uttanasana. As you arrive, inhale halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and fold. Inhale, soft knees come all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, bring the hands down to the side. Close the eyes for a moment and pause here in Tadasana. Gauging your energy level, feeling the warmth as it tingles probably through all your extremities. And we're going to inhale, draw the arms back up, bringing the hands to heart. We're going to bend the knees and come into a chair pose with hands at the heart. So we're now drawing the hips back. It's down a little bit. Drawing the hips back. Then raise the arms, coming into a full chair pose. Press the tailbone down. So you're going to point that tailbone so that it's rooting down toward the mat. Lift the heart. Feel the strength and the fire building here in this fierce position. One more breath. And then bring hands to heart and fold all the way down. Moving through a sun salutation series here. Come up halfway. Exhale and fold. Step back to your plank. Set up for one breath here in plank. Feel the navel pulling up, keeping that core straight. And then lowering the body, either the full chaturanga or you can lower the knees, coming down into, lowering the body down and then up into a cobra once again. Curl the toes, press back to downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up and then sweep it through, bringing it through to the front of the mat for a low runner's lunge. Drop the heel of the left foot. Use your core strength and rise all the way up. Warrior One, Virabhadrasana One. Lift the heart. Feel the body being supported by the legs, especially the outside of that left leg. Nice breath here. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the mat. Right leg comes back to plank. Once again, lowering the body. Chaturanga or dropping the knees, either version. Rolling up into your cobra and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, drawing the left leg up and then sweeping that left leg through. Always use a helping hand if you need. Go ahead and get set up, making sure that your alignment is always proper before you proceed. Drop the heel of the right foot. Use that core body, rising up into Virabhadrasana One on the other side. Lift that heart. Spread the fingers wide. Feel that energy pulsing through every finger, all the way down the arms, the feet, the toes. Exhale, bringing the hands back down to the mat. Left foot comes back. Once again, setting up to plank. Tip forward, Vinyasa flow, Chaturanga, your version. Inhale to cobra. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Walk the feet or jump forward to your forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, soft knees, come up into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Lift the heart, reach the fingers forward, but press the booty back and press your knees back. Nice deep breath here. Using that core. It's getting a little warmer. And then inhale, rise all the way back up. Drop the hands to the side. Once again, soften the eyes. Close them if you wish. Now gauge your energy. Do you feel the heat? Do you feel that sensation of blood moving around your body, pumped by your heart? How energized do you feel now? Let's inhale, bringing the arms up and over. Exhale, coming back into that chair pose. We're going to just drop the arms this time. Swish the arms back behind. And then inhale, lift up. Exhale, swish down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Do that a couple more times. Just feeling that rush of kinetic energy. And one more time, just for good measure. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms up and overhead. Bring those hands together. Interlace the fingers and press the palms up to the ceiling. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, crescent fold over to your left. Rotate that right shoulder back so you really get that openness all the way down the side of the body. Inhale, come up to center. Exhale, crescent to the right. Send your breath, direct it to any areas of tightness where it's still needed. Inhale, palms up. Exhale, release the palms, forward fold. Inhale, rise halfway up. Exhale and fold. Step back to downward facing dog. Nice deep breath here. Widen the feet once again, bringing the feet to the outer edges. We're going to once again take that right hand, bring it back. See if you can stretch and reach toward those left toes. Bring that right hand back up to the front. Bring that left hand back. Get a little bit of a twist, little diagonal reach here. Hold yourself strong with that core. Bring the feet back to hip distance apart. Come forward, drop the knees. Widen those knees and go ahead and drop into a child's pose. Arms can be outstretched or they can be wrapped behind the body, wherever you feel you need a little more release. Breathe and take rest. When we build energy, we also need to rest. It's all about balance. Keeping the body in balance is what we're trying to achieve with each of our practices. Coming forward once again. Bring the hands underneath the body, setting up in tabletop. This time we're going to lift the left knee and just create some circles with that knee, opening up the hip. We did this a few times last week with some of our hip openers. Just creating a little bit of space here in the hip area. Nice and slow. Engage those core muscles so that you really protect the back and keep the back stable. And then we're going to take that left leg back out to the left and press back up. You know what? I should have cued you to have that blanket underneath. If you want the blanket for gate, because we're going to go into gate pose again. Sorry, you can set that up with if you like the blanket underneath. So once you have that in place, left foot is out to the left. We're going to walk the hands back up the body, creating that nice posture. Draw in, zip up through the navel. Then bringing the arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring the left hand to the left thigh. Reach the right arm up and over and bend into your gate pose. Perhaps go a little farther this time than you did at the beginning of practice. Rotate that right shoulder back. Try to get that extension all the way up the right side of the body. Breathe here. And inhale, use your core to lift. Now we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take the right hand, keeping that left leg where it is. We're going to take that right hand and tilt over. I'm going to show you on this direction. We're going to tilt over, so now we're landing on the right leg. Left hand is up, and left hand comes over for stargazer. And then we're going to incorporate some movement into this. So using that core, really concentrate on that solar plexus, that fire in the belly. Inhale, draw yourself up. Pinwheel over into gate as you release. Inhale up, Pinwheel over for stargazer. Inhale up, release over. Inhale up, exhale, release down. One more time now that you've got this motion going. And just feel yourself like a delicate wave moving across. Inhale, come all the way back up. Release the arms down and set back up into tabletop. Take a breath here in neutral. And we're going to raise the right hip and create those circles once again. Really using that glute muscle here, but importantly, zipping up through the core so that you feel that support and the spine stays nice and stable. A couple more times around. And then we're going to take that right leg, setting up once again for gate, bringing it right off of the hip, walking the hands backward, up the body, drawing up, zip up through the core. Inhale, draw the arms up and over. Exhale, right hand comes to right thigh. Left arm folds over that ear. Slide that right hand down to whatever your expression of gate is. Always remembering it doesn't have to be the shape that you see on the screen. It doesn't have to be the shape that you've seen in a book. It's your expression of gate. Are you feeling the pose? That's the only thing that matters. Nice deep breath here. And inhale, draw up to center. Exhale, we're going to release the left arm straight down off the body and then bring the right arm up and over for that extended stargazer pose. Inhale, core strength lifts you up. Exhale, into gate. Inhale, core lifts you up. Exhale, release to stargazer. One more time with that full motion. And release. And some lovely side stretches today. And then core lifts you up to center. Bring the hands down. Bring the leg back underneath. And release down to tabletop. Once again, open those knees and just let yourself release into child's pose. Send that breath to the lower back. Send your body some ease and rest. Always directing your energy toward the greatest good. Sometimes that means that we're directing it to try to gain more strength and energy. Sometimes that means we're directing it toward ease and peace. Listen to what your body needs. Inhale, come forward. Let's come back to hands and knees. We're going to remove that blanket. We're done with it for the practice. Swing those legs around, and we're going to roll back. Releasing down to the spine. Oh, that feels good. Feet are on the mat, roughly hip bone distance apart. Settling that lower back down, feeling that grounding presence of the mat, feeling that energy release down through the pelvic bowl into the earth. Just take a breath here in stillness. And then before we go into too much rest, we're going to do a couple more movements here in this position. So go ahead and inhale and lift the tailbone up. Press the pubic bone toward the ceiling and gently lift the hips off the mat for a nice sweet bridge pose. Exhale and roll it all the way down. Inhale, roll up, coming into bridge pose. Perhaps this time drawing the shoulder blades a little bit closer together so that you gain that strength through the core. Lift through that lower core, lift through the upper thighs. That's still part of your core, those hip flexors. Nice deep breath here. Exhale, release the spine all the way down. Inhale, we'll do that one more time, 3 times a charm. Inhale, press into the feet, lift the hips up, lift up through the chest. Maybe draw the fingers up so the arms are reaching upward with your energy toward the sky. Reaching toward enlightenment, peace, contentment. Exhale, bring the hips all the way down and release. We're going to end with a little twist here. So we're going to drop both knees over to the left. So you're stacking the knees one upon the other so that your lower body is in a twist to the left. Arms are in a T off the shoulder if that feels okay for you. So grounding down both shoulders into the mat, releasing all engagement here. And if it feels appropriate, you can coax that right ear toward the floor. If that's too much of a twist, you can just leave that head in neutral. Always take care of your neck. Find your breath. Now gauge your energy. Feel what's pulsing through your body now. Feel more of a sense of calm, release. The internal organs once again. They got a really nice workout today. A lot of times all we think about are those external muscles, but our digestive system, all of those beautiful organs on the inside also need stimulation. They need movement. Take a deeper breath in. First, engage your abs to help protect your back as you draw the knees back up to center. Gently allow both knees to fall over to the right. Turn your head if it feels okay, and you want to allow that left ear to fall gently toward the earth. Opening up space for the heart, the lungs, that beautiful blood flow. Find your ease. Once again, engage the belly, draw that navel in, bring the knees up to center. Let's go ahead and release the legs down, extending both legs down the mat. And before you completely settle in, just go ahead and engage in a nice long open morning stretch. Could be afternoon stretch now since it's after 12. And just reach the fingers and toes in opposition. One more nice stretch and release after all of that core work today. And then exhale, bring the hands down. Soften the legs, soften the feet. And go ahead and find your rest in Shavasana. Take this time to come back to your breath. You can bring your hands to the belly and reacquaint yourself with the motion and the energy within. Where is your energy most needed today? Does it need to be calm? Need to stoke the fire and burn. What is this life flowing in our bodies like fire? What is it? Life is like a hot iron, ready to pour. Choose the mold, and life will burn it. To draw your energy back to an awareness of your body on the mat. Feeling that sensation of cooling coming in to release some of that fire we built up. Perhaps invite a little bit of motion back into the body. Wiggling fingers, toes. A little deeper breath. As you're ready, perhaps draw the knees
arms into the chest. Bringing yourself into a nice sweet hug. Bowing to the energy within and that which is without. Whenever you're ready, you can roll to one side or the other. Join me to close our practice in Sukhasana. Together, let's raise our arms, drawing our fingers skyward, reaching toward that higher source. Bringing the hands down to Anjali Mudra, bowing for a moment of gratefulness. May you use this energy and awareness inside toward your greater good as you move through the rest of your day today. The light in me honors and is grateful for the light in you. Thank you so much for practicing today. Namaste.